following is a sponsored program paid for by Robin Gwaltney Group-RE Results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Results and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning. It's Andy Brownell along with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE Results. It's Saturday again. Time to talk about real estate. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning. Hard to believe we already have more than the first week of September.
I know.
Us.
I know.
Oh, where does the time go?
It'll be Halloween before you know it.
Shh, stop it. Well, I know what. The time goes fast when you're busy, right? And
yes.
we have been very fortunate to stay busy, so I'm grateful for that. And I tell you, there is so much crazy conversation going on, I don't know, thanks to mainstream media, whatever we can attribute it to. But I actually just ran into a guy a couple of days ago. I had to meet him at a house to bid some work, and he looked at me straight in the face and said, "Oh my gosh, there is just a flood of foreclosures coming. My banker told me." And I said, "If your banker told you that, I'd be looking for a new bank." Yeah, because that's so not the case. And so I had to go through the what we've talked about week after week about how the average homeowner has $270,000 worth of equity, and 33% of homeowners own their homes outright. So I don't know where this flood of foreclosures is coming, because sure, there is about 29.5% of homeowners who owe more than 50% on their home, but that's okay.
Well, yeah. Almost all of us were that way for a period of time.
We all were that way at some time. And the thing is there are tons of buyers, and newsflash, people, there's not a ton of inventory out there. So back in 2008 and 9 and 10, you couldn't drive up and down a street without seeing half a dozen to a dozen for sale signs. It's a different market. We are not going to get flooded with foreclosures. Mark my word.
And you use the term flooded because in 2008 and during that time period, the term we all became very familiar with was you're underwater in your mortgage.
Yeah, right. Underwater. Upside down.
And we're not seeing that here.
No, we are not. And I mean, back in those days, people could not even afford to sell their homes. If they wanted to sell their homes, they had to show up at the closing table with their checkbook because they owed more on their house than they could sell it. And that is just not what's going on in the market. So I'll give you the same advice that I gave him. If you are dealing with a banker who's telling you that that's what they see coming and that the market is flooded with foreclosures, I'd probably be switching bankers.
This guy is giving out mortgages to somebody that is different than what we're dealing with.
Yes, I don't think that's the case at all. So, yeah, if they're in that situation, not quite sure what they did to get there.
Yeah, it all goes back to the basic economic axiom of supply and demand. Right now, you have more demand than you have supply. We have more demand than we have supply, which makes it a very active real estate market. We've been looking at those numbers, and it's been hovering right around that 50%, right, as far as our ratio. And that indicates that we're in a very active market. If houses are out there and they're priced right, the buyers are coming and they're going to sell fast. I think the average... in the price range between $300 and $400, the average list to sale price, or I should say sale to list price, is still 102%. So they're still selling for full price and then some. Yeah. So yeah, we're good, guys. We're in good shape, I promise you. Every one of these signals or indicators you've talked about are well into the green, as they say. Okay, so you know what? Speaking of inventory, I want to talk about some of the amazing opportunities that the Gwaltney Group has to share. All right. So are you familiar with those townhomes over on Nottingham Drive in the middle of Lincolnshire? You know, you turn Members Parkway and go in on 36th Avenue, and they put those in. I guess those were done about
oh gosh, I want to say about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
The one that we have for sale was actually built in 2010 because back in 2010, unfortunately, a tornado came through that neighborhood. Yeah, well, wiped this unit out. So this unit was rebuilt in 2010, and it is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Everybody's familiar with that floor plan because I can remember times where there was just like a line of people chomping at the bit to get in there. So this one literally just hit the market, and it is $275, 2 beds, 2 baths, 2-car garage. The way they design them is one of the bedrooms are huge, really nice size, and one of them has the bathroom right in the bedroom. The other one has the bathroom across the hall. So I've seen a lot of like widowed sisters living there, or and like 60-year-old daughter with an 80-year-old mother. You know, I've seen lots of different couples. There are some married couples, and there's even some single guys, but I think probably the majority of the folks out there are elderly women, and it's just a quiet, safe, lovely neighborhood. And they're just zero entry, you know, really nice open floor plan. So that, I think, is a hot commodity.
And I know you can't use this in the marketing, but you could say it's tornado proof because remember the movie The World According to Garp, where the plane crashed into the house?
Won't happen again. So anyway, it's a nice unit, and I suspect that when we talk next week, that one will be long gone.
Wow, okay.
2005 Main Street East over in Wabasha. Now, this house is just my dad used to say this, a hop, skip, and a jump from the river. I don't know. I've never tried to see how long it takes to do a hop, a skip, and a jump, but it's pretty close, right? So it's about a half a block from the river. And it is an old house. It's built in 1879, and it's very much the farmhouse feel with the big open gathering kitchen, the hardwood floors, the high ceilings, and yet it's right on Main Street. It's located at 205 Main Street East, so if you're familiar with Wabasha at all, it's kitty corner from Paul Bush Auto. And just like I say, half a block from the river. That one's $239,900, 3 beds and 2 baths and a 3-car garage.
Oh, really?
One of the stalls is kind of a little workshop area.
Yeah.
Anyway, so $239,900. So whether you want to move to Wabasha, whether you want to have a weekend place because you already go there every weekend to boat, but it's a good opportunity. Great price.
And a hop, skip, and a jump from the river.
If you're a good hopper, skipper, and jumper.
If you're good. An athletic hopper.
For me, it's probably 3 hops, 3 skips, and 3 jumps. But, you get the picture. All right. So we have a commercial building, 104 Main Street, Preston, Minnesota. Cute little storefront. I don't know if somebody wants to use it as an office, a little shop of some sort, but it's $69,900. So what do you think of that?
Yeah, I didn't know you could get into real estate at that price.
Pretty darn affordable, I would say. All right, let's get back to residential. We've got a nice house over at 508 21st Place Northeast in Casson, Minnesota. And this one was built in 2016. It's just under 3,000 square feet, has 4 beds, 3 baths, 3-car garage, and it's on a lot that's almost a half acre, 0.45. And that one's $440,000. Just a beautiful house. Yeah, very nice. We've got one in Byron that is built in 1965. It's a 4-bed, 4-bath, 2-car garage. Sits on 3 acres, and that one's $474,900. We've got a lot out in Byron on Summerby on Ancaster Drive, and that lot is 0.35, so just over a third of an acre, and that is $89,900. We've got all those lots out in Sally Hill, so those are beautiful lots. I've noticed more and more calls on those lots, as well as more hits on our website. So I think more and more people are getting back into the idea of let's build a house. So
sure.
This is great news. We've been talking about that as well.
Yeah, they're waiting for the inventory that they're looking for, and this is a great way to create inventory.
If you haven't checked out that Sally Hill subdivision, it's out by kind of the intersection of Broadway and 75th Street. There's a kind of a mobile home park on the corner. It's not that. And then Tinewell is next, I believe. And then comes Sally Hill. But you drive back in there and it's just gorgeous. Beautiful. We have 4234 Fern Avenue Southeast. And that one is a 2-bed, 2-bath, 2-car garage, $320,000. Looks like a nice place. I don't know if it has must have an unfinished lower level. It says it's just 1 story, so, with 2 beds and 2 baths. So it has a master bath and a hallway bath. But that one is 2021, so almost new, and we're looking at $320,000.
$25,000.
Yes, yay! Right?
Oh, wow.
So, these are some exciting things. I'm happy to, have some listings available and hopefully some new ones coming.
When you get into almost new construction like that where they haven't finished the basement yet, that gives you that opportunity to create your space down there.
And to build equity. It's a great way to build equity. Maybe can't afford to finish that basement right away, but eventually you'll be able to do it and it'll be great.
Awesome.
And as far as lots, I also want to tell you I'm listing that gorgeous neighborhood, the Woodland Valley, out at the, out southwest when you go up by Mayo Wood.
Yes.
You just go back down the hill. It's so beautiful. Those lots are gorgeous. They're like 4 acres, 4.8 acres, 2.7, 3.9. So they range in size and price from the low 3s to the high 4s. There's something for everybody out there. We've sold quite a few of those, and there's houses going up, so that's exciting. But there are still lots available. So we've got, here we go. I didn't see this one. Got 227 Harwood Avenue Northeast in Chatfield. And this is a 2,100 square foot house, 3 beds, 2 baths, a 1-car tuck-under garage. And it is listed for $239,900. So
there you go.
Great opportunity. So we've got listings. Other agents have listings. Clearly, we can help you look at anybody's listings. That's the great thing about the MLS is, you can pick the agent that you want to work with, and we can get into everybody's listings. It's funny to me how a lot of people don't understand the way that works, and they'll call me and say, Robin, you have these 2 listings. Could you show them to me? And I say, yeah, when would you want to see them? Well, I'm looking at this one and this one. I'm like, who are you looking at those with? Do you have a real estate agent? No, I don't have a real estate agent. I'm looking at those with the listing agents. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. So, so much of real estate is just us being the educators.
Yes.
As the real estate professionals, teaching people how to play the game, what the rules are, what's the best way to get success. It's a stressful time buying a house, especially if you've never done it before. It's a stressful time selling a house because most people haven't done it in quite a while. It's just a lot. And so if you have us there to guide you, it just makes it so much easier.
Yeah, all the jargon you have to become familiar
Correct.
with. And
and the key thing is to be there
rules.
To do the negotiating.
Right.
I mean, it's like you definitely want a professional negotiator.
Because you would be too emotional. Not you personally, but the person buying.
Right, yeah. A lot of people they don't even realize how emotionally attached they are to a property. But, it's all good. And the bottom line is that a lot of times people just say, I don't want to ask the questions because I feel like I'm supposed to already know the answer. Sure. I don't want to feel stupid. But I'm like, oh my gosh, no, ask away. I want you to feel like you have very clear expectations of what this process is going to look like, whether we're setting out to buy a house or sell a house. We are here to guide you. I've said it before, think of us as your Sherpa, and we're headed up the mountain, and we've got your back. We've got you. So that's it. I feel like that's really important for people to know.
All right. Well, we probably should take a break.
Okay, when we come back from the break, I want to introduce you to one of our newest team members, and I am so stinking excited to have this guy join our team. I can't even tell you.
Okay.
His name is Tom Duxbury, and I'll bet you a lot of listeners out there will say, I know Tom Duxbury. So I think this will be a great opportunity for him to spread the word out there that he's in the business.
In the biz. Okay. We'll talk with Tom when we come back from the break on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. To Rochester, Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning and welcome back. We're chatting now with the newest member of the Gwaltney Group team, Tom Duxbury. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning.
And you were telling me during the break quickly that this is not your first rodeo for being on the radio.
No, back when I had my own landscaping business here in Rochester for over 20 years, I split the garden show in the morning with Tracy McCrae and Brent Ackerman.
I do remember.
So it's good to be back on the air. And looking forward.
We're not taking your calls about buckthorn today.
No, very good. Very good.
So that's part of your background. You own your own landscaping business.
Yep, for over 20 years right here in Rochester. And then after selling the business, I went into working with a HVAC company here in Rochester. And so that combination of the outside experience with the inside experience really helps me, I believe, in helping get those buyers' dreams turned into reality.
Well, it's true, too, that if I'm looking at an existing home, I'm thinking of the three things that are concerning me about the condition of the home are the roof, the air conditioner, and the furnace.
Exactly. And with that knowledge, I really feel I have, a broad base to help those customers with that knowledge of the furnace, the air conditioner, and the landscaping. As
yes.
We all know that water in the basement once, you'll do anything to keep it out of there.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that aspect. I was thinking just the added value of having a nicely landscaped property. But
yeah, that beautiful curb appeal.
Yeah, but you're talking as well about the grading of the property and how that could affect things.
So yeah, my background works really well into helping those customers find both value and also kind of advising them, like Robin had mentioned earlier, about what's best for them. I'll tell you a story how I met Robin. Is that all right?
Absolutely. So
a couple years ago, Robin stopped at our house, and at that time was the market. Everybody was buying and selling, and she stopped at our house, and she introduced herself and told us, I could sell your place. I could easily sell this place, and we have some acreage with trails and obviously some detailed landscaping that we've put into our place. But she said, where would you go? Where would you go if I sold this place for you? After she left, I said to my wife, I said, I am going to get my realtor license, and I'm going to go to work for her because of her honesty. I said she could have sold the place, but instead she advised us on what we needed to do. And in the end, we're very, very happy where we're at. And I'm also very happy to be part of the team now.
Wow, that's an excellent story. And is that what triggered you to make the career move? Just like that?
It is. Well, I'm at an age in my life where I've had those past experiences, and I really, really am looking forward to helping those buyers now change those dreams into realities, and it gives a real satisfaction in helping people, giving them good, solid knowledge, good experience with my backgrounds to help them in those decisions. And I want to be like Robin and be able to tell people, you know what? maybe this isn't the best property for you. So that's what I respect about Robin and her team.
And I imagine as long as you have been here in the community, you have that intimate knowledge of the different areas of the community, the city, the neighborhoods, the schools, all that it's got to be great information to share with people.
Oh, you're absolutely right. There's history of Rochester, and it, dates back to the flood that went through, and not everybody knows about some of those properties that were underwater. And speaking about schools, my wife is a school teacher, and she's been doing it for 38 years. And now my son is going to be entering his first year as a elementary teacher. So we are vested in the community.
That's for sure. Is there any, I don't know, niche group of people that you really would like to work with more than others? I know a lot of people say the first-time buyer because it's so much darn fun to get somebody in a brand new home.
So my background, coming from the Chatfield area and being a little more of the rural area, I have a good knowledge of both farming and I have a good knowledge of the Rochester city and the surrounding areas. So I'm not limited to just Rochester. I grew up down in Preston, and my niche is kind of that broad base in the fact that I can sell bare land. I'm familiar with farming. I can sell the fourplex. So I'm kind of versatile in that regards, that I'm not limiting just to that first-time buyer or to that last-time buyer.
Interesting. Yeah, that wide array of expertise that you're walking in the door with. And,
it's a fun adventure, and I'm really excited about taking off with this team, and I appreciate the opportunity to get on and introduce myself and reintroduce myself to you.
And the fun part about it, you're doing this because Robin advised you not to sell a home.
Isn't that a great story? Yep. So I do have a lot of respect for Robin and the fact that is one of the main reasons I joined her team.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Tom, it's been wonderful talking to you, and perhaps we'll get another chance down the road as things move forward. But
if you have some horticulture questions, don't be afraid to ask.
There we go. Well,
all right.
Is it time to put down my fall fertilizer? Not yet. I know that.
Oh, we got to get some rain soon before we do any of that. Yeah.
That was always wonderful hearing you talk about that kind of stuff and field the calls. But welcome back to the radio, and we'll talk again sometime, Tom.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you. We'll take a break. That's Tom Duxbury, the newest member of the Gwaltney Group team, right here on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Mental health challenges among our youth.
Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate. Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back. We're with Robin Gwaltney again. Gwaltney Group-RE Results. Robin, really nice to get reacquainted with Tom.
Oh, he's just such a great guy. And, I have absolutely the utmost respect for people who have been out there in the trenches. Like, he's got life experience. Yeah. And, he sees things at houses. It's funny because my son has been trying to, take him around, let him shadow him, show him some things. And he's like, Mom, I never go out to a house with Tom where I don't learn something from him. He teaches me things about the HVAC or about the landscaping or things, because it all is connected, right?
Yes.
So I just love how equitable he is and all the life experience he brings. I've been talking, I'm on these mastermind calls, I've told you, and I've been talking to team leaders from across the country, and so many of them say that their team is dwindling, they're losing members. I mean, this last year and a half, we have received some of the strongest new members that I've ever had come on to the team, like close together. I've had our son, of course. This is his first full year. He joined us end of February last year. And he's been a great addition. I feel like I just grew another appendage because he's been around me. He's absorbed it. He's so much like me. And I feel like I can step out and he can step into the middle of a transaction and he'll do it exactly the way I would. So that's awesome. And of course, that's just a special bonus that he happens to be our son. But then shortly after that, we got Michael Floyd, who is past NFL football player, and he's working up in the cities and just has such a great network of people, and he's finding huge success, and he's loving it. So that's been great. And Elizabeth Birch came over from another team and just golden. I mean, she works so hard and she's so great with her clients. And I mean, she fits right in because all of them, they fit our culture, right? Because that's what's so important to us. It's not about how much experience they came to the table with. It's about how much people skills, how many, what am I trying to say? How good are they with people, right? Well, and it's so important to me. And are they honest? And are they trustworthy? And are they knowledgeable? And if they don't have the answers, can they call and get them? So while other team leaders are watching their teams dwindle down, I'm watching mine just explode, and I'm gaining all this really incredible talent that we already had a whole bunch of talent, so we're just adding to it and becoming even bigger and even better. So I just can't tell you how excited I am about the future of the Gwaltney Group.
And that was a great story, Tom. Tell me how he met you.
Well, yeah, he was referred to me from a friend. He said, if you want to list your house, this is the girl to call. And I went out there. I'm like, wait, why would you sell this place? Like, you're crazy. So they put so much, work into it, and they have acres, and they have beautiful walking trails on their own land and gorgeous little parks and landscape. I'm like, yeah, you're not going to sell this house. You'll regret it. And so when he called me back a couple years later, I thought, oh, he's changed his mind. He is going to sell it. And he goes, I just wanted to let you know I got my real estate license and I'd like to work with you. I'm like, well, dandy. So, yeah. Anyway, that's that. Yeah. But, again, our team's just getting bigger and better and stronger and more knowledgeable. And I love bringing all the different skills to the table because there's always somebody here that is expert in every area. So whether it's a, veteran team member or, a team member that is brand new, we've got people with contractor's license and, past experience in different fields. Heck, we even got one guy that, I don't know if you need an ex-pro football player for some, I don't know how that comes in handy, but he's, just super great guy and the kids love him, and especially on the days that he wears his big Super Bowl ring. That's fun. Wow. But yeah, we have a really great team, and I just want you all to know that we are here to serve you and take excellent care of you. So I hope that when you are looking for a real estate agent, you'll take all things into consideration and know that you don't just pick somebody because somebody knows them or your kids play ball together. Or not to say I haven't gotten a lot of deals that way, but you do want to do your research and know that you're working with somebody who has been around, who's done this a few thousand times, and knows that they can, they really help you, because that's our goal.
There you go. So if you want to get that help, have that conversation with you or a member of your team, like Tom or anybody else that you mentioned.
Yeah, you hire one, you get us all. That's the glory. Yeah. So, yeah, we are here to serve you. So anytime, call my cell phone. That phone number is 507-259-4926. Read about us on our webpage at gwaltneygroup.com and call with any questions you have whatsoever.
All right, Robin. We'll talk again next week about real estate. That's Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group-RE Results on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.